We welcome you inside the Gene Policini Center on the campus of the Rochester Institute of Technology, where tonight the wait is finally over as the Tigers return to home ice for the first time in 208 days. It's the home openers, the Corner Crew and Pep Band. Oh, they're tuning up for an Atlantic Hockey Conference showdown as Army has arrived for the first of 2-game weekend series here at the Coliseum. Number 8 for RIT this season is sophomore forward Evan Miller. After missing all but 2 games a year ago due to injury, the Niagara on the Lake Ontario native recorded his first collegiate goal and his first multi-point game last Saturday at Union. Good evening, I'm Kevin Roach, and thank you so much for joining us here on Pregame Live as we begin our 15th season as your home for Tiger hockey. Well, after losing 3 of last season's top 5 scorers in Will Calverley, Dan Willett, and Jake Hamaker, Tiger fans were eager to see who would emerge last Saturday, October 1st, in the team's earliest season opener in program history down in Albany against Union. First period, Tigers would strike first off the turnover here. Evan Miller deflecting the puck to Tanner Andrew in front for the goal. Tigers took the 1-0 lead. Then under 30 seconds to go in the opening period, RIT would tack on another as Evan Miller fires from the right circle and scores his first collegiate goal as a Tiger. 2-0 RIT after 1. It was 2-1 in the second. We're 4-on-4 here. Watch Cody Laskowski racing around the Union defense and scoring. End-to-end rush there for the Tigers. They were back in front by 2, but Union would respond in the third period, trailing by 1. Chris Theodore to Josh Nixon, who beats Tommy Scarfone, and that would tie us up at 3 apiece. Under 2 minutes remaining in regulation, a backbreaker here for RIT as Carter Corpy is going to take the long feed, get behind the Tiger defense, and he's going to score with the backhander. Corpy had 2 goals on the night. Union rallied to beat the Tigers by a final of 4-3. As we take a look inside the numbers following last Saturday's season opening loss at Union, Tigers spent some time in the box, but hats off to their PK unit as they killed off all 6 Union opportunities, including a pair of 5-on-3s in the second period. Tanner Andrew, Evan Miller, Cody Laskowski all scored for RIT. Hey, the Tigers were 10-0-1 when holding a lead entering the third period last season, but RIT unable to hold on last week against the Dutchmen. Now RIT will get another crack at Union next Saturday night when the Dutchmen come to town for Brick City homecoming weekend at the Blue Cross Arena. But tonight, the focus for RIT is on Army, a team that tied Union down at West Point last Sunday. With more on tonight's matchup, our John DiTullio standing by live now with RIT head coach Wayne Wilson. Johnny?
All right, thanks so much, Kevin. By the way, how are you? How was your summer?
Everything's good. We're back in the swing of things now, though. It's getting back in the groove. I mean, we played last weekend, obviously, but playing at home makes it feel like the start of the season, so we're excited to go tonight here.
What do you want to see from your team, Wayne? These are early games. Our conference games are important, but what do you want to see?
Yeah, we just want to see improvement. I'd like to see a power play so I can see where our power play's at. I mean, our penalty killing was good last weekend, but we got to see where that is. We'd like to see our freshmen grow a little bit as well. They were pretty nervous with their first game. I'm sure they're just as nervous playing at home now, so we'll see. So you're just looking for growth at this time of year, improvements, and after last week's game, we had something tangible to work on, and so we're just working on some smaller details.
You lost some key contributors from last year, but you bring back a lot of guys. With the mixture of some young players, on paper, this looks like a strong team.
Yeah, it is, and you're right, I think. But every time you think you have a good team, you're going to lose some good people, and you need your veterans to step up, take another step in their progress, and I think you'll see that with our defense. That's what I'm hoping for. I think our defense is that much more mature, and I think when you get a good defense and they move the puck up to your forwards, it makes your forwards look a little bit better. But I think we're quicker as a team as well. But every game's going to be a test, and we'll find out where we're at.
Army is always a test. I know they bring in a lot of new faces, but they're always a test. You have to really stay disciplined against them.
Yeah, I think Brian Riley does a great job with their team. They're always a hard-working team, and if they get some skilled players, boy, you better watch out, because with their work ethic and skill, they become very dangerous. They've got a really good goalie returning, so we want to get to him as early as possible, which is never an easy task. But we want to have some jump tonight and some excitement in our step and really get after things.
You look good as you get a lot of golf in this summer.
Not as much as I'd like, John. Not as much as I'd like.
I think you grew, and I shrunk.
Yeah, well, I don't know what the reason for that is. I'm not going down that road.
Thanks, Wayne. All the best. That's head coach Wayne Wilson here at RIT. Kevin, back to you.
All right, John, we'll check back with you in just a bit. Well, Army arrived in Rochester yesterday, and they were out on the ice here this morning. Like the Tigers, the Black Knights opened the season against Union. Army skated to a 2-2 tie with the Dutchmen. And while Army head coach Brian Riley was pleased with his young team's effort, the head coach believes they need to be even better here tonight now that points are at stake in the conference.
Well, after 6 weeks, it was nice to finally play somebody else, but there's still a lot yet that we have to learn. It was only one game, and I mean, I still feel like to this point, there's still things that we haven't worked on. So definitely a work in progress, and hopefully we'll learn a little bit more about our team this weekend against a good RIT team. A little bit different for us in that we don't get the transfers, the fifth-year guys, so we are stuck with your traditional rebuild where a lot of teams are reloading. So our hope will be playing our best hockey coming down the stretch, going into the playoffs, and I think everybody ultimately wants to do that, but there are a lot of good teams. I mean, anybody can win our league, so it should be another exciting year.
Exciting year for Atlantic hockey. Now, Army is in a bit of a rebuilding mode, as Coach Riley mentioned, with 10 new freshmen on the roster. The Black Knights have been picked to finish 6th in the 10-team Atlantic hockey preseason poll. RIT picked to finish 4th. We'll see what happens. In the net for the Tigers tonight will be number 30, Tommy Scarfone. The Montreal native moved to the top of the rotation in the middle of last season and never relinquished it. Scarfone stopped 29 in the net at Union last week and has a goals against of just over 4 coming into this evening. Head coach Brian Riley will stick with number 1, Gavin Abrick. The Hayward, Wisconsin native beat RIT here last season. In fact, shut him out 6-0 in one of those games on the first night of that series. He earned a tie last week against Union. He has a save percentage early on of .913. Well, still to come here on Pregame Live. The RIT men's lacrosse team celebrated back-to-back national championships with so much deserved bling. Plus, the RIT women's hockey team took the ice earlier this afternoon looking for their first victory on this young season. Highlights are on the way, but first, number 18 for RIT is Captain Kobe Walker, the 5th-year senior forward from Lloydminster, Alberta, one of the top scorers for RIT a year ago. He'll join our Kim Coffey live next as our coverage of Tiger hockey continues from the Gene Policini Center. It's RIT and Army at 7:05. This is Pregame Live. Back here on Pregame Live, a nice fall week here on campus. Oh, it's quickly gone away. Typical Rochester here as the temperatures have tipped back into the 40s. Perfect hockey weather, though, as we get you set for RIT and Army puck drop coming your way at 7:05. Hey, RIT and Army, the only conference game scheduled here tonight. However, it is a busy non-conference night for fellow AHA members. Canisius is at Penn State. Sacred Heart visits Providence. Mercyhurst takes on RPI. UMass is at AIC, and Niagara out in Omaha. Now, Holy Cross is taking on the nation's 3rd-ranked team here tonight. That would be North Dakota. That'll be a big one for them. Plus, Air Force is hosting the Icebreaker. They're co-hosting it with top-ranked Denver. The Falcons face Maine at 9 o'clock tonight. Let's skip ahead. We'll catch up with Kobe Walker and Kim in just a moment as he's just about to come off the ice. But let's go over to the women's hockey team after losing a 2-game series at 15th ranked Connecticut to start the season, dropping another 2-game set at 15th ranked Vermont. The Tigers home today against St. Michael's. Let's check out the highlights early in the first period. Emma Rowland, the wrist shot, gives the Tigers the early advantage. Tigers led 3-0 after one. Second period, RIT on the power play. Ella Fassett with her first collegiate collegiate goal. Tigers led 4-0. Tigers would outshoot St. Michael's 57-7 in a dominating performance, and the goals kept coming all afternoon. Lindsay Maloney, the rebound in front here. Her second of the game, a career high for her. Tigers win 8-0. It's the most goals they've scored in a game since they scored 7 against Syracuse back in 2019. Afterwards, we caught up with RIT head coach Celeste Brown.
I mean, it's huge. It's good for confidence. It's good to sort of prove, like, hey, the hard work we have put in over the past couple of weekends facing tough opponents, like, pays off. And St. Mike's was relentless. Like, you had to work, like, the whole 60 minutes, so it was positive, but we want more. So we're looking and resetting for tomorrow.
Obviously, your power play got going. You also scored a shorthanded goal. You had to be pleased with your special team.
Yeah, no, they did a great job. Like, I thought the urgency around, like, the power play was a little bit better. They moved the puck well. There's a couple other high-quality opportunities that we're hopefully going to bury moving forward, but movement and sort of pieces to that puzzle have started to come.
Yeah, they came today in a big way. Tigers wrap up their series with the Purple Knights tomorrow afternoon right here at the Policini Center. Face-off is scheduled for 1 p.m. Get your seats at the box office or online at rittickets.com or watch it live right here on flowhockey.tv. Well, warm-ups have wrapped up downstairs. Kim Coffey standing by live now with RIT co-captain Kobe Walker. Kim?
Thanks, Kevin. Kobe, it was so funny. I was looking at my notes when I first got here, and I realized you were the last interview I did at the end of last season. So that being said, how much do you feel your role has changed here in that time frame? I mean, you're a captain now. You're a leader on this team. How's the leadership role changed?
Yeah, leadership role's good. It's a little more responsibility. Got to do the right things, but nothing's really changed. Just kind of trying to do my part for the team, whatever it takes.
You guys opened your season with a close one against Union. What did you learn from that game that's going to help you out here tonight?
Just a full 60-minute effort. We got lackadaisical out there, and we ended up letting back in the game when we shouldn't have. So I think that's a goal this time, is just full 60 minutes and outwork the other team, right? Army's a hard-working team, but as long as we outwork them and we execute, then I think we should be fine.
We were just talking about the corner crew here. How big is it to have a home ice advantage at the Gene Policini Center?
Yeah, I think they were pretty excited for this one. But yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a good game. Hopefully everyone's loud. I know the corner crew and the band will be going nuts, so super excited for the game.
Awesome, Kobe. Good luck tonight. Hopefully we'll talk to you at the end, too.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Kevin, back to you.
All right, Kim, thank you so much. Well, RIT Athletics has a long tradition of success that now includes 5 national championship teams. Men's hockey captured titles in 1983 and 1985. Women's hockey won it all in 2012, and the RIT men's lacrosse team has brought home the hardware the last 2 seasons. Last month, the champs received their final piece of championship bling.
Nothing beats winning.
For the second straight year and second time in school history, RIT wins the Division III Men's Lacrosse National Championship.
And there's nothing quite like winning a national championship.
There's just nothing like it. I mean, you throw your helmet off, your gloves in the air, and I can't even explain it. It's the best feeling ever, you know? Just running out there, getting your goalie, everyone's screaming, yelling, guys crying. It's just best feeling in the world.
It's pretty surreal, to be honest with you, especially since the first 4 years I was here, we didn't win one. And when COVID hit, I was fully expecting to have never won a national championship when my lacrosse career was over, and now to have 2, you know, you couldn't dream of it 2 years ago. So I'm just really thankful that I got to experience it.
Another title for the Tigers means another ring, and the 2022 edition did not disappoint.
You open that box, first reaction when you saw that ring?
Just jaw dropping. Like, oh my God, I can't stop smiling looking at it now. It looks so cool. Just having 2 on my hand right now, it's awesome.
I think everyone kind of was taken back a little bit. It's much different than the one we got last year. It's very unique. The black design is really cool, and it complements the silver nicely. And yeah, we couldn't have asked for anything more.
We again put in some stones for the wins, 22 wins. We went with a back-to-back on the bottom of the ring, which is subtle. We wanted to have it subtle, not kind of standing out. This team is separate from last year's team and different cast of characters, so we wanted to kind of keep this as a 22 championship ring, not kind of push and exemplify the back-to-back piece. So and then we put the score on the inside as well. We felt being that it was the first ever time with the 2 Liberty League opponents or 2 league opponents in general, we thought the score was significant to add to the ring.
Championships don't come every year, but this program expects to at least be in the hunt.
I think it was the expectation even before we won, and unfortunately we never got to achieve it. But every year we were in the hunt. Every year we were looking for a championship or bust mentality, and I think just kind of breaking through that barrier. When it rains, it pours. Once we figured it out, it's addicting winning. So we might as well keep doing it.
Well, the culture, I guess, at this point is, if you come to play at RIT, that's why you came. You're trying to get to that point, get to that pinnacle, win that ring, and I think maybe to them it does feel like an expectation. It's a high one, I guess, but it's certainly something we're going to, try to achieve year in and year out.
Oh, a great moment for the program on Memorial Day weekend. Back-to-back champs for the Tigers. Coach Kuhn and the Tigers will begin their quest for a three-peat. I know they don't want to talk about it, but that is the case when they open the season 134 short days on February 18th at Muhlenberg. I bet it'll be beautiful. Hey, you want to relive highlights from last season's men's lacrosse national championship run? Maybe catch up on highlights from the men's and women's hockey team all season long, or past seasons? You can find that, plus features, scores, and so much more right on the RIT Athletics app. Download it today for your Apple or Android device. Plus, catch our live streams on the app, available on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV as well. A must-have for Tiger fans. Well, still to come on Pregame Live. The Black Knights have not fared well against RIT over the years. We'll look back on last season's rare sweep. Plus, John and Jean will join us to break down tonight's conference opener. That's all straight ahead on your home for Tiger Hockey. This is Pregame Live.
Goal of the night, big. Sending over to Calverley, and Calverley has a man coming out of the box. Tigers have numbers here as we're back to even straight. Calverley for the hat trick! Oh, and Avery makes the save! 34 seconds remaining in the power play. Barry in the corner. That'll be held in as Macklin sends it to the near side. Back up top this goes. Shot. Knocked down in front, the rebound, knocked to the side and put back in. And we are tied. Colin Bielik with the goal. 3-3 our score. As the Tigers go on the attack. Here's Jojo Casero descended in. On the far side, Hobbs. And that's going to be chipped out. Opportunity is coming ahead will be Wilson. Noah Wilson. Shot scores!
No.
Short-handed goal for Army.
Boy. I think Tommy would like that one back.
It's going to be Karanin, I beg your pardon, John Karanin with the goal, short-handed.
For the Tigers last year, and that is how Army pulled off its first ever sweep of the Tigers last December. RIT has dominated otherwise in this series, going 23-6-7 overall, including a 6-3-1 mark in their last 10 meetings. Army head coach Brian Riley told me this morning that RIT always a tough matchup for his team, but he hasn't told his newcomers about that. He said, they don't know. They don't know. They'll find out tonight. We will see as we welcome you back inside the Gene Policini Center here at RIT, where you're watching Pregame Live, presented by Taylor the Builders, as we continue our countdown to puck drop between Army and RIT. That comes up at 7:05. Happy to be joined as always by the guys who will have the call for you once again tonight, beginning their 15th straight season of calling Tiger hockey. It's been a while. Gene Battaglia and John DiTullio. Guys, the home opener, a new season, always bringing excitement. But when it's a conference game with points on the line, it's even bigger here tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, you're starting right off. And good evening, Kevin. And It's great to be back, John.
15
How are you,
years, my
That's
friend.
It.
How about that? Not a bad run.
Yeah, 15 years from going on the lift above the concession stand at the Ritter, and here we are, and we're so glad you're with us here tonight, wherever you're watching. And John, unlike other years, this year's a little different because this freshman class, now that you're getting some recruits in that you can kind of now compete with in terms of scholarships, but the Tigers also have a lot coming back this year.
You know, they lost 3 of their top 5 scorers from a year ago, but they bring back a lot of talent. As you mentioned, Now allowed to give out scholarship. They're bringing their first player from Sweden. This is a loaded team. Is it a Frozen Four team? I'm not going to go that far, but this is a talented group. Forwards, defensemen, they've got a really good goalie. They're well coached. We're going to find out starting tonight how good this team can be.
Well, we're going to learn about the Tigers' work ethic because that's, what Army's going to bring.
Yes.
Thing with Army, too, is they bring it from the back line, and actually the guy who led the team last year in scoring actually from the back line, that being Anthony Fioriello.
Fiorelli, a great two-way player for him. If you look last year, as you mentioned, he leads all returning players in points. He had 9 goals and 12 assists a year ago. And we're talking with Wayne this week. That's a player they got to keep an eye on because he's such a really good two-way player and one of the 2 captains for Army. So keep your eye on number 17 tonight.
It was about a year ago the Tigers went out to Notre Dame. They got that win. It's like, whoa, there's Carter Wilkie showing up on the scene. It was a great freshman year. John looking for great things here in year number 2.
When you look at Wilkie, Wayne just couldn't talk enough about him this week. He was named with the Atlantic Hockey co-preseason player of the year. Led RIT with 30 points a year ago, and we saw him get better and better, not only every game, but every shift. He was an incredible player, great two-way player for the Tigers. Number 21, if the Tigers are going to have the year we think they can have, number 21 needs to have a monster season.
So RIT first home game here tonight, first conference game. A lot happening here, Kevin. We're looking forward to calling this tonight at 7:05.
Looking forward to it as well. We'll catch up with you in just a bit. We are closing in on game time here. The lights have dimmed at the Policini Center. The team's about to be announced, and we'll wrap things up from here next. You're watching RIT Hockey Pregame Live.
This is RIT. Imagine your possibilities.
We all have something, a passion to pursue, a theory to prove, a difference to make. We harness creativity to discover meaningful solutions, fueled by innovation, changing ourselves and the world around us. We reside at the intersection of the exceptional and the unconventional. We are a community of curious minds that achieve, make, improve, perfect. At RIT, we're always on to something amazing.
Back here at the Gene Policini Center at RIT, getting ready for Army and the Tigers. Of course, these two wrap up their Atlantic Hockey Series tomorrow. Our coverage begins at 4:30 with Pregame Live, followed by Face-Off at 5:05. All season long, you can find us right here on flowhockey.tv. Now, there's no better way to take in an RIT hockey game than being right here at the Coliseum. Get your tickets now. Join us this season by calling or visiting the box office, or grab your seats right now by visiting rittickets.com. That is the way to do it all season long. We'll have Army tomorrow, of course, Brick City next week against Union. A whole schedule of games, tickets available for purchase at the moment. That'll do it for Pregame Live. Up next, John and Gene have the call as the puck drops on conference play, and I'll see you back here for the intermission report. RIT versus Army begins right now.